Hi, gamers! Allow me to introduce you to the weapon category that I lovingly call straight swords with a twist. Why? Well, because I have literally no idea what the difference is between the two. So if you came into this expecting an in-depth analysis of curved swords, I'm sorry, but you are definitely not going to get it in this video. Wink wink, nudge nudge. In any case, this is just one more step on the road to ranking every weapon in Dark Souls 3, so get ready for the ride. Number 15, the Rotten Grew Curved Sword. Yes, I personally love giving my opponents multiple unknown diseases with a sword that gives me one just by looking at it. This thing is mid on the best of days, primarily because its entire purpose is giving your enemies a defective status effect that most bosses are just immune to. Just pick something else, man. This thing is so mid, and it definitely deserves it for, looking like a crusty barnacle. Number 14, the Scimitar. So this weapon looks mediocre at first, but on a second glance, it's just mid. I mean, it does get an S scaling with a sharp infusion, but the base damage is not good enough compared to many other swords in this category. It doesn't even bleed either. Just use the Falion. I mean, this thing is a basic weapon with very little benefits, and some of these other weapons are just straight up better, objectively. Number 13, the Storm Curved Sword. Man, I hate to be that guy, but this sword is really disappointing. I mean, it's fine. It has bad damage even when upgraded, and its skill is so incredibly mediocre that it probably has a town in Indiana named after it. I mean, the skill is the best trait that it looks cool. That's literally the entire point of the skill and the weapon. The sword itself, the sword's only win is that it has the second longest reach out of all the curved swords. Oh my gosh. To be honest, it's just meh. Next. Number 12, the Showell. So, why is the Showell here? Well, the main benefit of using this weapon over others in its class is the fact that it can actually circumvent shields. Basically, if an opponent is shielding, this can still damage opponents through shields, even if that shield has 100% physical damage defense. So, with that being said, there is literally another Showell that has more range, more damage, and innate bleed buildup. What? This Showell is completely outclassed. Even so, this weapon has good scalings. Oh, and for some reason, if it's in your left hand, it gets the parry skill. What? It also has a cool backflip attack when you try to kick, which just adds to the random sandwich that this weapon is. Overall, it's horribly irredeemable, but outclassed. Even more so when you consider the fact that the special ability of this weapon is pretty mediocre, just like the rest of this weapon. Number 11, the Dancer's Enchanted Swords. This is the first of the paired curved swords that we're going to see on this list, and unfortunately it is the worst one, despite looking the coolest. These swords are paired with magic, physical, and fire damage, which should mean they are good, right? I mean, that's 3 separate damage types. Well, no. You see, the unique moveset is actually just straight worse than the normal paired curved sword moveset. The unique skill is just barely better than the normal skill, and it's honestly just underwhelming. I mean, seriously, it's really disappointing, and it just can't do enough right to pick it up over most other curved swords. That being said, it certainly looks cool, and I mean, when you're doing 3 different damage types, that also looks kinda sick. Number 10, the Falion. This weapon, like the Scimitar, is the most basic weapon in this category. Now, the problem is, it isn't a good basic. I mean, it is good basic in the sense that you can infuse it, but bad basic in the fact that every other curved sword above this one beats it. This is still on the lower half of the list, and it's especially bad considering that other categories have way better options. Just straight up, way better options for their basic one. I mean, look at the daggers. The basic dagger is number 3 on the daggers list. I mean, when you are considering that, it's just, whew. I don't know what to do about this thing. I mean, it does get some good scalings and damage for its basic nature. I can give it that. In fact, the Falion actually has the highest damage of any other curved sword when infused with a raw infusion. So, you know, that's not bad, right? Number 9, the Demon's Scar. This weapon is absolutely whack. First, it has a random crit modifier. It's a 110, so that's not like amazing by any means, but it's the only curved sword that has a crit modifier. So, what? And then, wait, hold on. This thing has no physical damage? This might be the only weapon in the entire game that has absolutely no physical damage. This weapon's entire power is in the fire damage, and for that reason, it's good against enemies with a high physical resistance. But like, what? That is just so random and weird. Oh, but the craziest thing is that it gets crazier. This thing literally weighs half a pound, which is absolutely insane. Like, huh? Its dex scaling, it's soft capped at the requirement, and it primarily scales with intelligence and faith, which makes sense because it's literally just fire. Honestly, it works extremely well for this weapon because this is also a catalyst! That's right, if this sword wasn't weird enough, it's also a spell catalyst for pyromancies. I have no idea what to do with this thing. I mean, its damage just but it has so many weird niche benefits that I just can't discount it. It's an excellent pyromancy weapon if you're looking for a weapon catalyst hybrid. In fact, it's the only weapon catalyst hybrid for pyromancy builds. Number 8, the Carthus Show. This weapon is the better Showell in literally every single way. More damage? Check. More range? Check. Can be buffed and infused? Check. Innate shield circumvention? Check. And innate bleed? Check. Okay, let's be real. If you want to use a Showell, use this one. It's still mediocre, but it is leagues better than the other Showell, and that's really all I have to say. Number 7, the Carthus Curve sword. So this sword apparently got nerfed, but it really just doesn't matter. This sword is good. Not S tier, but it is pretty close. It has innate bleed, which is really nice. It can be infused with A scalings on a few infusions. It's got good range, but it just isn't an S tier. Especially considering the best weapon in the whole game is in the curved sword category. Whew. I mean, it's higher than average stamina cost, just means that it can't hang with the greats. I love its design, and I still believe that this sword is cool, but practically wise, it just does lose out to a few others. Number 6, the Crescent Moon Sword. This sword is a personal favorite of mine, even though it's only okay. It has mediocre range, damage, and it is the result of a mediocre questline that will ruin another if you start it before the end game. Even so, it is incredibly fun and has a versatile, unique skill that literally makes up for my getting it for all the crap that Leonhard put me through. Too bad his wife doesn't like him back because he kills her. Unfortunately, the skill just isn't good enough. I thought it would do ballistic damage after Leonhard one-shot me with it, but even with a good intelligence build, I just can't squeeze the damage out of it I feel like I should be able to have. Even so, I do adore this weapon for a good int build, and I firmly believe that this is the int build curved sword. Number 5, the Pontiff Knight Curved Sword. Okay, so this sword is pretty cool, and it actually has a few niche benefits that make it at least something that you should look at. First, it has the longest reach of any curved sword when you two-hand it, which is a nice little benefit. The second minor benefit is that it has the highest durability of any other curved sword, which are both minor abilities, but it does have a very serious PvP reputation for being an R1 stick most of the time. But in PvE, it has none of that crap. This weapon has a mediocre skill that's meant to apply a status effect that most bosses are at least resistant to, and its normal attacks don't do enough damage to bring this thing to good status. The only reason it's good in PvP too is because of its reach and being able to roll catch. I would like to see what that work against bosses who, in fact, do not roll. Just switch this thing out for something else. Get me on to the next one. Number 4, the Painting Guardian's Curved Sword. This thing is so unassuming, and that is why I despise it. Why? Why do you give this thing S-scaling infusions? Why does it cause bleed buildup? Why does it have a unique skill? The sword literally looks horrible at first glance, and it's just not. I full on thought this thing could not be infused, and I was promptly shocked when I saw that it could. It's flexible with so little downsides. Oh my gosh, man, this thing needs a neon sign for a nameplate. Its only downside is literally its bad reach, since it's the lowest in the curved sword class. But when you see weapons of this caliber just sitting there, you will make that range work. I mean, seriously, you pick this up in a random tower somewhere, and the game it just says, yeah, you got this now. Like, come on, man, give me an indicator that this thing is this busted. Number 3, the Warden Twin Blades. These Twin Blades are the direct competitor to the Sellsword Twin Blades. They have the same moveset, slightly less damage, and the gimmick of the weapon, which is bleed. This weapon is good for a dex build, no doubt about it. It's a solid weapon with good ability, albeit slightly worse for a dex build than the Sellsword Twin Blades. However, on a luck build, this might be one of, if not the best weapon that you could have, period. This thing, with a bleed infusion, is a frickin' war crime. The problem for most is 2 things. First, luck isn't commonly built for, and second is that bleed absolutely sucks in a non-PvP environment. Even so, use this for a luck build, use the Sellsword Twin Blades for a dex, period. Like, seriously, man, these things give me a headache with how dangerous they can be. Number 2, the Follower Saber. So, unlike most curved swords, this one actually still has a kick when you try to kick. It gets A scalings and more than a few infusions, and with a unique skill to boot. And it's actually kind of crazy that it still does good damage on top of all the aforementioned benefits. It's still a relatively basic weapon, and the main draw is its different skill, but it's definitely not bad by any means. Its main problem comes from finding it in one of the DLCs, which means it's quite difficult to grab, and you are most likely going to use a different sword. However, if you know about this weapon and want to build for it, it can quickly shred most opponents with ease. I did not care about this thing at first, and I honestly thought that it was filler, just a filler weapon, and then I tried it out. Oh my gosh, this thing is villainous. There is no excuse for why this thing is underrated. It needs the recognition it deserves. Oh man, dude, I could sit here and talk about this thing all day, but I'm just gonna narrow it down to one single point. This thing can utterly obliterate nearly any opponent. Go up to the exactly same area you get it from. Don't even need to upgrade it. Use whatever build you got. Go and stab some people with it. You will see that this thing, even on a crappy build for it, will still touch opponents in such a way that they will be literally calling the FBI. Oh my goodness, at least look at it. Please, I beg of you. And the fact that it can be infused means that you have no excuse for not using this with your build. And finally, number 1, the Sellsword Twin Blades. If you have played Dark Souls 3 at all, you would know why this is here, and you would not be surprised. So, with that being said, let's get into the meat. First things first, I want to talk to the developer who decided to make these. Why? Why did you make them this unbelievably strong? If you ask anybody who has played a lot of Dark Souls 3, they will tell you about this weapon. I'm pretty sure that this thing is the reason why paired weapons are not in Elden Ring. This blender single-handedly gave the entire Dark Souls 3 community PTSD and anxiety to boot. I mean, like, I could keep going. This is the #1 weapon in all of Dark Souls 3, period. It has great infusions, double attacks with insane speed, and straight up the most potential on literally any build. These are pure evil. They are cruel. violent. If you want to see how a blender does its thing, use this weapon. If you want to make the Nameless King cry, even though you infuse these things with a lightning infusion, use them. I mean, dude, they are the best weapons in Dark Souls 3 objectively. I don't like it either, but it is true. And if you try them out, you'll know why. Oh, and did I mention that there's literally a starting class that has these to start? Like, oh my gosh! Who designed it? I can't, man. I just can't. Please, get this list over with. I don't want it anymore. So there you have it. Curved swords. I don't use these all that much because I'm an avid greatsword enjoyer, but I have to admit there are some real demons of death. Even if curved greatswords suck dirt compared to greatswords and ultra greatswords, at least the basic category, this category, has some seriously strong bangers. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching, and as always, happy hunting.